Morning driver, you're all set to depart south. The next stop is signal Sierra Charlie 5608. To close the dialog box, put the reverser to forward, wipers on, even though they don't do anything. Headlights on, power to 350 RPM and release the brake. And we should start climbing up this hill, which is 1 to 100. So put it to shunt. So we're on the West Coast Main Line Missing Link, also known as the West Coast Main Line Midlands and Northwest. We're taking this pair of 47, so 47 on the front and 47 on the end, and 3 Mark 1 coaches between Crewe, Basford Hall and Wolverhampton. And my chair is very squeaky. There's a Pendle going from Lancaster to London. Try 350 RPM. So we are following along train 533 Juliet, which is a 608 Crewe head shunt to Long Marston. Calling out Crewe head shunt, Crewe signal Charlie Echo 110. Worcester TC, Honeybourne Stuff Hut and Long Marston. This is actually the second time recording this because last night Windows 10 decided to update itself. And yeah, my graphics card wasn't really being used, which meant the CPU had to run the game and record at the same time, which means the output was just stutter. So this is the second time driving this. I mean, I don't mind doing it because it's a nice drive. So when we get out of Basford Hall, I'll just show you around the train. So Basford Hall is behind us, we just left it. Yeah, Basford Hall is really laggy because there's so much to load. So this is the West Coast Main Line, which runs from London Euston to Glasgow Central, with branches off towards Manchester, Liverpool, Holyhead, Chester and Edinburgh, and Northampton and Birmingham. So we're joining on the upslope because we're going towards London. Speed limit is at 100 miles an hour, so we put the power to maximum. On the front we have 47147, and on the rear we have 47223, and in the middle we have 3 Mark 1 coaches. Taking a look at the interior, it's a very nice interior. It looks very comfy. And hopefully this recording should be a lot better than the first one. So the next stop is signal Sierra Charlie 5608 in about 18 miles. So this train is timed for 75 miles an hour max, which means we can't go any higher than 75. So this train accelerates pretty quickly, even though we do have 3 Mark 1 coaches and a dead 47 on the end. What's the matter for 47? It's be a lot. I think it's like, if I had to guess, I'd say about 80 tons, maybe between 80 and 100 tons. So why are we hauling along to Mark 1 coaches? Well, when I put this into YouTube, so the train's head code, start time, origin and destination, the first thing that came up was 2 47s and some Mark 1 coaches, so I just assumed it was that. I mean, even though today it might be something completely different. Or yesterday. We're stopping at signal Sierra Charlie 5608 and Wolverhampton platform 3. I know the train didn't actually go through Wolverhampton, I'm just routing it through there because the original path isn't modelled. So I just thought it would be nice to take like a tiny diversion through Wolverhampton. So when we get to Sierra Charlie 5608, we should wait for a stopping passenger train to pass. I think it's a train from Stafford to Crewe via Stoke-on-Trent, so stopping at all stations. So yeah, this 47 is from the West Coast Main Line over Shap. And I'm not too sure where these Mark 1 coaches are from, because if you go to the object set filter, go to just trains, and then click on the Mark 1 coach, it comes up. I'm not sure what it's from. I think the first time I saw it was from the Southwestern Expressways route. Maybe it's part of Just Trains' I think it's part of Just Trains' like library of stuff. I mean, they are really nice. So we've got up to 75 miles an hour, so just back off on the power and just coast for a bit. And apparently there's a toilet down there. I bet it's like a very small toilet. Put it to about 500 RPM just so we can maintain 75. Yeah, my chair is very squeaky. So I'll just keep it on 500 RPM and then just slowly crawl back up to 75. So next point of interest is Madeley. I have done a video on Madeley in the past where you come off the West Coast Main Line into like a turnaround loop and then you just head off towards Madeley Quarry. I think it's for coal or stone. Yeah, it is a route on the Team Workshop. It is a really nice route. So we have 13 miles left to SC5608. So I have heard that Trains in World 2 is coming out in, I think it's like the start of August. Yeah, I don't know why Dovetail had decided to do a second one. I think it's something to do with the Unreal Engine 5. I mean, I have seen Alan Thompson's video on TSW2. And yeah, I couldn't really gauge his happiness with his Trains in World 2 because it said that there were a lot more improvements upon Trains in World, but it also said that Dovetail were lying about things. Like how they have made the decision about the last 5 years whether to use the Unreal Engine. I don't know, you have to go and watch his video about the Trains in World 2. I mean, I'm not interested in Trains in World at all because I don't think my PC is powerful enough to run it. I mean, I can run Trains in Classic fine, but this is because Trains in Classic is like 10 years old. I think we should be coming up on Madeley soon. So there's our next stopping point. Yeah, this is Madeley. Then the line going over as close to the quarry. So because it is like 6:30, there won't be that much traffic. me, like, traffic on the national network is slowly getting back to normal as lockdown eases, but it's not quite there yet. I mean, freight is largely still the same, because people still need food, people still need stuff. As I read that from June 15th, so this Monday, non-essential shops should reopen. And I don't really understand why it's called a non-essential shop, because if it's non-essential, what's the point in opening it? I mean, why are clothes stores considered non-essential? Because people still need clothes to buy, to wear. So aren't clothes shops essential? So if you're going to go on public transport, you do need to wear a face covering. Just make sure it covers your mouth and nose. And only travel if it's essential. What were the other guidelines? Something about, I think Boris said something about a support system or something. Yeah, I think the government has like this some sort of elaborate like get out of lockdown system. So yeah, the 5 key changes to lockdown rules that come into force on June 15th in England. So one is non-essential shops can reopen. Two, zoos and safari parks can reopen because they've been losing a lot of money. 3, new guidelines on when wearing a face covering is compulsory come into force. 4, places of worship can open for private prayer. 5, secondary schools can start reopening. I don't think universities really have that much to worry about in terms of the current situation, because most of us have already finished our year of university, unless some of us have like June exams. I know switching from like lectures to online lectures wasn't really that difficult because we have lecture capture. Even though the mic is pretty pretty crap on those, and you get this horrible like echoey effect. Probably because the lecture theatres are massive and it's very prone to echoes. So try and maintain 75 miles an hour. So 6 miles to our next stop. So shortly we should see a track go off towards the right. That is the downslope. It pretty much goes around the overpass. And we should hopefully see a Pedalino from Manchester overtake us going to London. So yeah, I've also had to turn down my settings, my scenery quality, just so that the route doesn't stutter every 10 seconds. So by turning it down, it means the scenery is still there, but it's not a very high quality. But it looks good. So taking a quick look outside. Yeah, the 47 does look really nice. Do a quick thumbnail shot. So zoom in and then crop it down, or I could do like very zoomed in. Nice. I can also go to the rear end. It doesn't look very good from here. So our ETA is 6:34 and we're due in at 36. We'll also leave at 39 because that's when the stopping train is timetable to pass us. So we shouldn't be failing anything. Yeah, this part of the West Coast Main Line has a ton of super elevation. Well, that's the entire West Coast Main Line does. Which is why the Penlinos were built. So 3 miles left, we should be 3 miles left, we should be there in the next 3-ish minutes. So I think with the 375, 377 EP, I still need to do a video in Kent. I've already done Victoria to Faversham, so I guess I could do Faversham to Victoria in the other direction. I could either look somewhere for a pre-existing scenario, or I could just make my own. Even though I think with the timetable going back to normal, making a full scenario from Faversham to Victoria would take ages. Double yellow, which means we are closing up on Norton Bridge. Actually, I think this is Norton Bridge. Stop braking. So put the brake to about 20 on the gauge. Because we are going uphill, kind of. No, we're not. I should put it to 40. Line for the left joins from Stone and Stoke-on-Trent. The danger aspect is from the track on the far left, and the green aspect is for the up fast. So our speed off is coming off very nicely. So we've got a single yellow aspect, which means we need to stop at the next signal, which will be a danger. So I think we are now approaching Little Bridgeford Junction. Timetable pass at 6:48, actual pass at 6:40. So when we leave here we should be on time with the actual train. So the actual train was 7 minutes early. So at the moment my GPU is being utilised about 70, 80, 90%. So it is definitely helping to run the game smoothly. And hopefully the recording shouldn't come out all stuttery. because this model is like, how old is the West Coast Main Line? How old is the West Coast Main Line over Shap? It's been out for ages. So because of its age, TPWS hasn't really been implemented. So I'll just drive as there was TPWS. Without saying that, I haven't seen any TPWS grids. So just stop in the destination marker and then wait for the signal to go green. Or yellow. Put the brake on to about 40. And wait for a clear aspect. There's the train over there. This is a 350 from Stafford to Crewe. I don't know why the fence is dead fighting with itself. So we now have a single yellow, which means we are clear to depart away from here. So reverting to forward, brake release and power to low. Just so we don't end up going into the yellow bit. So next up is Wolverhampton platform 3 in about 20 miles. So bring our speed up. So we're already doing 10 miles an hour. Yeah, so yeah, 47s are really powerful, especially when you put them in pairs, mainly like coal trains. So the line to the left joins from Stone and Stoke-on-Trent. It's also the line that cross country use on trains between Birmingham New Street and Manchester Piccadilly. So from Manchester, 350 from Northampton to Crewe. So starting from Manchester, cross country goes south, stopping at Stockport, Stoke-on-Trent, Stafford, Wolverhampton and Birmingham New Street before continuing on towards either Reading or Bristol. So just accelerate the train back up to 75 miles an hour. Also, my first recording of this, apparently not actually passed us as we were also passing through Stafford, so that should be a cool shot. I also have to remember that passing through Stafford, the speed limit goes down to 60 before going straight on towards Penkridge. So yeah, if you want to try the scenario out for yourself, I will first put it up on Google Drive for you to download and drive. I will also put this on Alan Thompson's sim, and hopefully Alan might drive it in a stream one day, or a video. Maybe. We got to yellow, which means we've already caught up to the second train, which has now turned green. I mean, speed limit down here is 100, even though and the 350 can do 100. So, yeah, the 350 should be way ahead of us right now. Yeah, 350 from Birmingham to Liverpool with 1 Foxtrot 30. So yeah, Stafford shouldn't be too far away. So Stafford platform for 654. Actual pass was 48. Was that 6? Yeah, that's 6. Speed limits are going down to 80 and down to 60 as we pass through Stafford. Also, the track texture changes. I think this is from the West Coast Mainline Trent Valley. Or still the AP track pack, but a different track texture. So start braking for 60 miles an hour. So this is Stafford. Or Stafford North Junction. I think the last time I came down here, I was a bit late setting off from Norton Bridge, so the Pendolino might be a bit further back. So this is Stafford. One of the best stations on the West Coast Main Line. There's a 350 that overtook us. So here we'll terminate here, then go back out to Crewe via Stoke-on-Trent. So the line to the left is the West Coast Main Line to London Euston via the Trent Valley, and we go straight on towards Wolverhampton and Birmingham. So this is Stafford Trent Valley Junction. Where's the Pendolino? Oh, it's literally right there. Speed limit is now 90 miles an hour. So we can accelerate back up to 75. So the next station we'll pass through is Penkridge before arriving into Wolverhampton. Yeah, I'm not too sure how much freight comes down here, because we would just rather use the Trent Valley, because the Trent Valley is quad track, so you can just stick freight on the slow line. Unless your train originated in Birmingham, then coming down here would make more sense because it's fast. Also, the speed limit should be going up to 125 soon. Next point of interest should be Rickerscote. Where is that? That is Stafford's that. Ooh, Pendo. There's Penkridge. So where's Rickerscote? It's somewhere. It's somewhere, I'm sure. So about the power off at 75, so we can just coast over towards Penkridge. So pass through Penkridge platform 2 at 7:01. Actual train passed at 6:51, so it was 9 minutes early. So we should be through Penkridge in the next 4 minutes. So yeah, the West Coast Main Line Missing Link is absolutely it's an absolutely amazing route. You should definitely download it if you're a sub to ATS. There's a Pendle from Birmingham to Preston. Even if you have to pay 30 quid, it's definitely worth 30 quid because you get the line from Sandwell and Dudley all the way up to Wigan North Western, and also the branch off to Liverpool. And hopefully in a future phase we'll also have the line down to Rugby, because thing about the Trent Valley is that it's owned by Thomson Interactive, and the EU prohibits anyone from using their route in another pack. So what the creator has to do is to completely recreate the West Coast Main Line Trent Valley. What's also going to happen, or hopefully hoping to happen, is a line from Wigan to Preston, so then we could have the entire West Coast Main Line in transit. So from London to Rugby, you can use the West Coast Main Line south. Then from Rugby to Stafford, you can use the West Coast Main Line Trent Valley. Then from Stafford to Preston, you can use this route, the West Coast Main Line Missing Link. Then from Preston to Carlisle, you can use the West Coast Main Line over Shap. Then from Carlisle to Glasgow, you can use the West Coast Main Line North. So it should be fun driving 400 miles in a Pedalino. Or maybe if you could like merge it all together, like 400 miles of track in one route. Well, the East Coast Main Line has already been completely merged together, so it shouldn't be too impossible. Or maybe the game engine might not handle it and crash. So this is Penkridge Station. So Wolverhampton is in the next 9.5 miles. So yeah, I've really been enjoying this. I've really been enjoying this drive. Apparently there's enough AI considering it's like 10 to 7. And the 47 is just a nice locomotive to drive. Even though it does need like an enhancement pack. Or maybe it's someone to come along and completely rebuild it. And not into a 57. So you got Penkridge, you got Fort Ashes Loop, you got Bushbury Junction, Port Bellow Junction, West Midlands. And then I think you've got Wolverhampton. So I think now we're coming up on Fort Ashes Loop. Or not. Yeah, I think that's a bit further down. Because the timetable to take about 4 minutes to get from Penkridge to Fort Ashes Loop. So yeah, I think because it got the desk lamp, I think this might be first class. Because standard class normally doesn't have lamps on it. Or in it. Yeah, but yeah, Jetty did a really nice job with the interior. Yeah, any like old coaches like Mark 1s and Mark 2s have far superior seats to modern trains. Because modern train seats is like sitting in cardboard or something really, really solid. Like plastic. I mean, I understand why they're like that. It's because of manufacturing costs and safety in a fire. But maybe it won't be too much of a hassle to get like actual comfortable seats. Because in some modern trains, like a 700, you could go from like Peterborough to Brighton, and that takes like 3-4 hours. And I'm pretty sure you don't want to sit on a rock hard seat for that long. Also, what's with the cloud up there? I think it's a glitch with the weather system. Like, well, the clouds kind of come together. Also, why is it moving so quickly? Like, why are the clouds moving this quickly? Do a quick flyby because we haven't done one of those yet. Get a bit of the Doppler effect. Yeah, I don't know why the furnace is dead fighting with itself. Yeah. It's actually a loft. So yeah, the grass here is actually a loft, not actual grass. Because I can just go straight through it. So 4 miles left to Wolverhampton. So yeah, I do like 47s. Pretty classic locomotive, even though they're like 60 years old. So as we approach Wolverhampton, the speed limit goes down to 60 and then down to 15 as we kind of round the curve into the station. So just coast towards 60 miles an hour speed limit now, and I will apply brake if needed. So when we get into Wolverhampton, the station should be fairly quiet. The only thing there should be the only thing that should be there should be Pendolino to Euston via Birmingham, and it came empty from Oxley Car Depot. So bring the train speed down to 60 miles an hour. The thing about the West Coast Main Line over Sharp 47 is that the brakes apply a lot slower than a default one. I guess that's like a realism thing. So I think the line to the left is a path that the train actually took. We're taking this path because of train sim reasons. Speed limit is also going down to 15. I don't think that factory over there has loaded in yet. WLO, which means we're cleared into Wolverhampton platform 3. But there's a vortex again. A quick screenshot. thing about OHLA is that it kind of ruins the picture because you got the interior in the way. So we have a yellow and a white block. I'm not sure what that's meant to represent. Is it meant to do that? So anyway, around the corner is Wolverhampton station. I'm pretty sure it's in the middle of Wolverhampton, not like a bit on the outside like Crewe is. Or Stafford. I think when lockdown ends, I think the first place I might go to is Stafford. See what's changed with the timetable. Maybe Liverpool. Actually, I have to find out how much that would cost. Like, the cost of a ticket between Rochdale and Stafford. It's probably a lot. Because you're kind of leaving Greater Manchester into a completely separate county. So the Pendo came off 5 Romeo 14 from Oxley. So this is the end of the video when we stop. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed me taking this 47 from Crewe to Wolverhampton. So follow me on Twitter for future video updates. Follow me on Twitch for live streams. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next video. So aiming to stop just by this board, this advertisement board. So bring it to a gentle stop.